What's going on, guys? These things, the blend doors for the HVAC inside of these trucks, Suburbans, Yukons, Tahoes, probably Blazers. Well, not Blazers, because this is the later model ones. Anyways, here is all my blend doors. And as you can see, they look like crap. That's my issue of why I was losing air out of the vents. So, I'm going to tell you how to do this with our dashboard still installed. It's not that bad, but at the same time, it's not that great either. So, let me give y'all a rundown. I might be pushing the pause button a little bit, so bear with me. This is on my phone. Nothing special. Got to give a shout out to Dylan Stackhouse for starting this process, and I think I have a little more of a refined method, but we'll do that. Okay, so as y'all know, there is the floor vent one is the one that's attached to the actuator motor, and also has these spring linkages. That one and that one. I have them in their particular areas just so that I know which one's which. That one's the defrost. This one is the actual main, or known as face vents. And first thing you need to do is get under there and take a picture whenever you pull the actuator motor off. Take a picture of the orientation of those linkages and the little arms that they attach to. That way you have a point of reference whenever you go to put all this stuff in. Mine is currently tore down and not put back together, but I think this is a good point for me to explain how I got it done. And I'm going to try to give the most detail as possible. First thing I did was I removed the heater core bottom plate with 5.5 millimeter screws, bolts, whatever you want to call them. They're more like screws, but whatever. And then I removed the floor vents. It sits in there like that. You have one 7 millimeter bolt on the front and then 2 clips on the back. You want to pull those out. The next thing that you want to do in order to get these blend doors out is to remove your actuator motor, and then from there remove the 2 spring linkages by getting a trim panel tool remover behind these little plastic clips here and pop them out. They'll swing down, and then you can lift them up and over the little hook that's on the floor vent. Now once you got all the linkages free and all the blend doors can just like flop around on their own, what we're gonna do is we're gonna remove a little spring clip that's right there, and one that's up under the dash here. I'm gonna try to see if I can see. Hang on, Facebook is notifying me of something. One right there, and then over here where you see the screw boss right here, there's going to be another 5.5 millimeters. Now that'll give you enough room to kind of bow this down a little bit, and then from there, as you can see right here, there is kind of a gap. Well, once I find the hole for the, there it is, there's my finger. Here's the hole for the floor vent. And you can tell we have a little bit of a gap here, and from there you can kind of walk the arm through and in, and then kind of pop the vent out and then bring it out here at the bottom. Now the other two that go further up in are a little bit more complicated. The defrost one's easier to get out than the main door one. And I bought all new components. It's not a flex, it's just what I found was going to be easier. So on the defrost one, I was able to take these pair of pliers here and go around the stem. Hang on, I'll show you. I was able to go around the stem here and use this as a slide hammer to get the little arm off of it. And then the other one here, here's the arms, by the way. This is the one for the defrost that you can kind of slide hammer off. And then this one, well, I kind of broke it, mostly on purpose, because it was really stuck on there. So I grabbed a hold of this with my pliers, as you can tell by the tool marks on it. Focus. Grabbed a hold of it with my pliers and reached up into the hole, grabbed a hold of this and twisted back and forth to kind of loosen up this. It almost feels like solder. I don't want to say it's lead, but it's some other low temp melt material that, you know, is very much forgiving. And just kind of wiggled it around because I knew I had replacements here and I could destroy it. So there was a little bit of destruct them, but yeah, they kind of came right out. Did take a little bit of fiddling. You know, some people say, oh, it takes about an hour. No, I spent a whole day plus another probably good bit trying to figure this out. So hopefully this saves you guys a little bit of time. Also, this is the floor vent one. This is where I was telling you you can pull down the box and kind of finagle this part back into the box, and then from there this will kind of just boop right out. Easier said than done. But now if you want to recover these and not buy new ones, I mean, it's up to you. I found new ones. I got the defrost and the main or face door one through Rock Auto. This one I actually got through O'Reilly Auto Parts because it was cheaper, and of course Rock Auto has stopped stocking these. O'Reilly, on the other hand, has connections with manufacturers that they can factory direct order these things. The more that we probably factory direct order these things, the more that they will become in stock. So, as you can tell, big difference there. That's the floor vent. Here's the defrost vent. As you can see, big difference of it coming apart. Here's the main door one. Let's see if I can one-handedly get this out of its package. I have not opened this yet. Hold please. Hold please. And there that is. Cool. And so what you want to know is there a tape measure over here? Nope. How much extra material is around these? Ah, there's my tape measure. Sorry, I'm trying to go through the battlefield here and not step on any mines. So what we're looking at, yes, this is a cheater tape. All right, I got that on the 2. Looks like we are 1, 3, 5/16. Or 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, 5/16 extra on the side. About a 1/4 inch on that side from the edge. So somewhere between 1/4 inch and 5/16 will get you sealed up of extra material. It's about the same on the rest of these, I believe. That one's almost 3/8, so yeah, about 5/16 on that one. Just measured that one. Where's my floor vent one? It's right here. Sorry, I've got a lot of things going on, as you can tell, at the same time. Yep, about 1/4 inch to almost 5/16. So if you want to just re-insulate that, I guess you can do it. Like I said, I went and bought these all new. Granted, they are a little bit on the pricey side, but what you want to look for, don't look at that number, that's for the heater core seal, as you can tell, a little seal there. Anyways, what you're looking for is ACD, that's your AC Delco number, that's your GM part number. Over here, on this one, not seeing a sticker, give me a sticker, there we go. This is for the main door. That's your GM part number, AC Delco number. Again, this one was for the defrost door. And this is the GM part number / AC Delco part number for the floor vent door. Cool. Now, I said that I got extra components. I went onto the Amazon and I got these guys. The new spring linkage and the new arms. Because after about a day of trying to fiddle with the two upper ones, the vent and the main, I noticed that I was going to have to destroy a couple of pieces, so I ended up buying some new parts. These weren't all that expensive. I will probably end up, if I post this on Facebook, I'm going to, in the comment section, or along with the post, I'm going to post some screen grabs of what I got, where I got these. But this one is the defroster. Of course, it actually says it on it. Defroster valve link. That's what I got. Of course, it's made in China. For stuff like this, I don't really care. This one's for the main. It says AC control lever link. That's the part numbers. The rest of this stuff is all just for the AC system itself. So, of course, reassembly is going to be opposite order of teardown. That's pretty much all I got for you. Like I said, this one's kind of a bear to get out because of such a short shaft. You may need to buy one of these kits or both of these kits to get this one out, because it was fighting me for a long time. I spent a lot of time upside down in the dash trying to remove this gently. Gentle didn't work, so we chose violence. And as per usual, violence won. So, but violence isn't always the answer. Not always. So, anyways, just moving things around to see if there's anything that I'm forgetting. We're going to be coming up on 15 minutes here shortly. So, yeah. Hopefully that covers everything. Again, I'd like to plug Mr. Dylan Stackhouse for getting me started on this journey. This is a rear control, like, this is the beast. Like, fully loaded, rear control, everything. One other particular thing that I will mention is that this is a SLT 1999 Suburban, so it has pretty much all the bells and whistles. It might not have like the Bose stereo system if it was a thing back then, but it has a 6-speaker system. I did have to remove the factory audio amplifier that is, goes right in, where's my hand? Goes right in this location here next to the AC box. I removed it for a little bit easier access. You probably don't have to. I did all that as well because, well, I'm putting in a complete aftermarket stereo system that will not be using even the head unit's power. I'm going to run amplifiers for the mids and highs, everything else. So that's that deal out the window. But anyways, I removed that just for ease of access. Again, I don't know if you have to, especially if you take the destructive route and buy all the new parts. I'm starting to ramble, so we're coming up on 16 minutes, so I'm gonna let you guys go. Have a good one. Hope this helped. Any questions, please ask at the bottom, but watch the whole video through before you start asking questions. Thanks a lot. Also, while I got everything out, I guess I'm gonna blow out my evaporator core just to get all the trash out of it. So, all right, thanks for the watch. See you guys later.